Hi guys, Coach Kelsey here with Next Level Leader. Today we're going to be talking about the characteristic of being consistent. I want you to think about your best friend for a moment. And I want you to think about a characteristic or personality trait that your best friend has. For example, you may say, my best friend is really kind and encouraging. Now I want you to think about how you would feel if your best friend walked in one day and was the complete opposite of that characteristic. You might be caught off guard by that. It's the same thing when we're in a leadership role. If we aren't consistent in presenting ourselves in the same way day in and day out, we can cause a lot of anxiety and even distrust in our followers. So it's important to remain consistent in our leadership. Now, the heat of competition has a very special way of making that a challenge. A lot of emotions arise and it can become challenging to remain consistent and not get overwhelmed by what we're feeling in that heat of competition. So I want to share two specific ways that we can do that. The first one is to come up with your keel statement. Now, a keel is a part of a boat that helps stabilize the boat in the midst of a storm, not allowing it to tip over to the left or to the right. So therefore, our keel statement is a statement that we can recite to ourselves that keeps us level-headed, that keeps us stable in the midst of a high emotional situation. For example, my keel statement as a coach is that I want to coach fiercely and freely because ultimately it's Christ through me. That is the statement that brings me peace, keeps me calm and stable in the midst of high emotion of competition, so I can remain a consistent leader for my players. The second thing that I want to share with you guys today is a couple of coping skills that can help us remain calm in the midst of stress. The first one is 4x4 deep breathing or box breathing. The way that it gets its name is from inhaling for 4 seconds, holding that breath for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds, and doing that 4 times. Now, when it comes to deep breathing, not only does that slow down our minds and keeps us from thinking 1,000 thoughts per hour, but it also slows down our heart rate. It also relaxes our muscles and again helps us become more grounded and able to focus on the task at hand. The second coping skill is what I like to call 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 senses. And basically it's going through your 5 senses. So you would start with the number 5 and list 5 things that you see. Then you would move on to 4 things that you hear. Then you would pick out 3 things that you can touch or feel. Then you'd move on to 2 things that you can smell and 1 thing you can taste. Now it might seem a little bit odd to go through your senses like that. However, what's happening in that moment when we do that is we are actually communicating to our minds and to our bodies that we are safe, that we're okay, that we are real, and that we are present where our feet are planted. A lot of times when we have high emotion, it can feel like an out-of-body experience. It can get overwhelming. And so both of these coping skills help keep us grounded so we can remain calm and consistent in our leadership. So my challenge to you is 1, to come up with your keel statement. And a lot of times that's the why behind what you're doing. The second thing is to try one of those 2 coping skills this week. In the heat of competition, see if that helps you remain calm and consistent for your teammates that you're leading. Here at Empowered, we are seeking to build leaders, and we believe that one of those characteristics has to be consistency. That way, the people that we are leading can not only trust us, but remain calm in the midst of competition.